Howdy folks, welcome to Brain Rotters. Hawkeye episode 1 has officially arrived, and I'm going to be breaking down episode 1 and it's all of its Easter eggs, and the Marvel Comics Easter eggs in this are insane, so stay with me, I'm going to be taking you through it all. Our story picks up with Kate Bishop as a kid in 2012, be the year that the Avengers fought the Chitauri invasion, and they kept saying the phrase in this opening, things just don't come falling from the sky, which we know that year to literally have chitauri coming from the sky. That, of course, we see it happening only a couple scenes later. As well, you can already see the early archery award she has, the first of many, as we soon find out. We get to see a really cool outside shot of Hawkeye saving Kate and then saving himself from the high rise in the first Avengers movie. The intro theme itself tells Kate's story of training as she grew up, which is something we haven't seen an MCU show do yet with the theme song. The intro art design even looks based off the illustrations of the Matt Fraction comic book that the show is based off of. You can see that the place here is called Stane Tower, which the plaque reads is in honor of Obadiah Stane, the first ever MCU villain. So I do believe that Greer is supposed to be Greer Nelson from the comics, otherwise known as Tigra or Cat, who was on the Avengers for a while and a villain too. The tagline that Cap uses, "I can do this all day," is sung by this guy here. An awesome use of Clint seeing Black Widow portrayed sees our first look at how deaf he really is, adapting his deafness from the same Matt Fraction Hawkeye comic line that the show is based off of. I love the inclusion of Nat almost everywhere in this first couple of scenes, teasing Yelena's eventual arrival from Black Widow. You see on the urinal that it says Thanos was right, making me think that the Flag Smashers who got used to the world without half its people might still be around, playing off the ending of Falcon and Winter Soldier, which teased that the Flag Smashers are still operating. Eleanor Bishop mentions that rich people think they are invincible, referencing Invincible Iron Man, Invincible being Iron Man's comic book tagline. Armand Duquesne is actually from the comics as a very minor Marvel Comics character, kind of the rich douchebag type, similar to the show. His death happened really fast in his comic run, foreshadowing how fast his death happened in the show. But his son, Jack Duquesne, is Swordsman from the comics. This guy is Swordsman from the Marvel Comics, who carries a sword that was crafted by the Mandarin. So this show could tie into Shang-Chi with Makulon tech that was teased in the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi, of more Makulon tech being out there. I think later on we'll see Swordsman use one of the swords around Kate's apartment. He seems particularly interested in Ronin's sword later, so we got tons of swords to go around here. Hey, you made this far, you might as well subscribe if you're new, as well as hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss another video just like this one. This is Lucky the dog from the comics, even with the one eye, and when he eats from the pizza box, it's ripped straight from the comics. As the auctioneer is talking about the Ronin sword, he talks about how Ronin brought a brutal justice to his victims, something that Armand and Jack look very displeased about, teasing that at the heart of the story, what Hawkeye did is Ronin will drive the events of the show. Now this goon recognizes Ronin, leading me to believe that the Tracksuit Gang does have affiliations with Ronin's past. Ronin taking on the head crime lords of the city. This does explain a lot about how the show, being Hawkeye's past, catching up to him. It's really dark and kind of hard to see, but that does look a lot like Obadiah Stane's Ironmonger face mask, tying into the Stane Tower Easter egg at the beginning of the episode. The lot number 268 for the Avengers compound is a reference to Avengers 268, where we see the heroes fight Kang. We know Kang to be the next big bad of the MCU, so here's a little comics tease for that. So it says that the watch comes from the Avengers compound and looks expensive enough to be Tony's potentially, but he says your watch, I found it, as if it's personal to him. I think he could be talking about the crime lord Kingpin, who's rumored to be the big bad of the series, so this could be foreshadowing that the Tracksuit Gang works for Kingpin, the last remaining crime lord after Hawkeye killed them all. So my camera battery died before I could film the outro, but what did you miss? What did I miss? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you're new. We got tons of content coming your way every single week about Hawkeye, so subscribe for that. Thanks all for watching. Take care.